Hey guys, welcome back to Chaos Core Tech. My name's Garrett, and today we are going to be making the Rancor, or at least our version of it. Now, it actually surprises me because I know a lot of big Star Wars nerds that not a lot of people actually know what the Rancor is. Well, they know it if they see it, but they don't know the name Rancor. So it's the monster that lives in that pit in Jabba's palace or whatever he has there. That he drops Luke down, and then Luke shoves a bone in his mouth and drops a door on him. That's the Rancor. And I don't actually think that the Rancor's been seen in the Star Wars movies other than that. Aside from now, I actually think it might have been one of the holographic chess pieces. But other than that, I don't think that there's ever been a Rancor again. So it was a very, very small clip in one of the movies, but it left an impact on me when I was a kid watching it. So I wanted to create one of these. And so I did, all by myself.
Okay, Garrett.
But I enlisted the help of Chelsey because she's way better at some of this stuff, but I'll get into that later. So, let's jump into the modeling. We modeled this using ZBrush. I started out by using Z-spheres to create the initial body like I do with most of my things. And I wanted to design this using symmetry because that can get you a long way and it makes the job a lot easier. But symmetry has this weird effect when we're looking at things that are natural aren't usually perfectly symmetrical. So we tried a technique this time of doing most of the modeling with symmetry on to save time, but then towards the end, once we had a lot of the details applied, we could turn symmetry off and sort of adjust the position. Now, if you've ever used ZBrush and tried to do this, you know how hard it is to move models and pose them once you have detail on. But luckily, I think we were careful enough here that we were able to pull it off and give it more of a unique pose rather than just being symmetrical. So like I said, I got the initial body shape there, and I did a lot of the shaping of the face. But if you've watched any of our other videos, you know that I'm not super good with organic stuff, and all of the little bumps and wrinkles and cracks and stuff in him are super organic. So I asked Chelsey if she would be willing to try it out, and she did. So we've actually been sitting on this file for a while. We thought it'd be better to release around the new Star Wars movie. So this was actually the first model that Chelsey really did any sort of detail on, and she absolutely killed it. And I could stand here and gush about it for a while, but I think I'm gonna let the print speak for itself because it absolutely can in this case. So I'm gonna go straight into the print footage. Okay, so here is the printed version. We printed 3 different versions, 3 different sizes. We printed a super tiny one on the Elegoo, and that one came out really, really good. Then we printed one on the Prusa MK3, and this one, you can see it doesn't have a base or anything like that. So the hands and the feet kind of print in individual islands, and so does the tail. And the tail, as you can see, is not there. So what happened was it just broke off because it was a very tiny little island that was sitting on the bed, and it couldn't make it. And as soon as we started printing it, we kind of knew that that would be a problem spot. So in order to fix that, this one we printed on the Artillery, printed it 300 millimeters tall. If you watched our Artillery video, you already saw this, but you can see it has a base. Chelsey made this base. She gave it a really, really nice dirt texture down there, and she put in some skulls and bones. I just think this looks really, really cool and adds to the flavor of it, and it has the added benefit of printing more reliably and making sure that the tail and the arms connect up at the top here. And we'll stick in some pictures here so you can see it in more detail, but the wrinkles and stuff on here, all the little details that Chelsey put on are absolutely phenomenal. I honestly think that this is one of the models that I'm most proud of, and I get to be more proud of it because Chelsey helped work on it, so I'm not sounding like I'm being too braggy about my own skills here. But I really, really like the way this came out, and I think if I was able to travel back in time and show this to my 10-year-old self watching Star Wars, he would flip out, so I think that's pretty cool. One more thing to mention, because I know there's some super diehard Star Wars fans out there. This isn't like an exact version of the Rancor from the movies. If you look at the scene from the movie, the face is actually quite a bit different, and the body is as well, because I think they actually used a puppet. I'm not sure. It'd be interesting to find out. I should look that up. So we kind of made our own version here, looking at a bunch of different art from places online and stuff like that. And this is just kind of our take on it. One of the biggest differences I think you'll notice is the tail being quite a bit longer, and that was honestly just to make it print without supports. Which I guess is a good segue to talk about the fact that it prints with no supports. So like I said, this one was 300 millimeters tall. It's a very, very large print, and it had absolutely no problem printing without supports. There's a little bit of an area here that has to bridge in the crotch and some small areas in the armpits. So I would say as long as your printer has decent cooling, this thing absolutely prints with no supports. Which I want to brag about because it's cool, but sounds like I'm bragging too much. So I think this print looks really, really cool by itself in a single color, but it would look even cooler painted. So I'm gonna hand it off, and Chelsey's gonna work her magic. Alright guys, well there you have it. That is our version of the Rancor, or the pit monster from Star Wars. Like I said, I am really proud of how this model came out. And a couple of the things that I think are the coolest is one, that it prints with no supports. We were questioning the whole time if we were going to be able to pull that off, and I'm really happy that we were able to do that because so many more people will print it now. And two, this is all on Chelsey, but she added so many tiny little details in there, which not only makes it more visually appealing because there's lots of little things you can pick out, but two, it actually prints well at pretty much any scale. So I'm actually going to close out this video by showing off pictures of you guys at home printing this. We released the file a couple weeks ago and told people to tweet us pictures, and you guys did that. Hopefully. And if you want to join them and print one of your own, I will put links to the files down in the description and the pinned comment down there. It's a link to our Gumroad where you can get this file. So a huge thank you to everyone who has and will support us with this model. So thank you again for watching, and until next time, keep creating.